Good afternoon, one and all, once again. I'm very sorry, we got a huge gap in between. But hereafter, from today onwards, we won't miss any session hereafter. I'll make sure that. Okay, any questions before we proceed? Any questions from anyone before we
A
proceed?
small recap of the
Yeah, sure,
previous
definitely I'll
session.
do that.
Okay.
So we were discussing about the projects, different projects, if I'm not wrong, right? And we started with the first project called implementation project. See, after what is our job actually? Like there are two types of SAP employees will be there. One is at consulting level, one is at end user level. Clear? One is at consulting level, another will be end user level. But our aim is to crack consulting level, not at end user level. For end user, if you want a job at end user level, then there is no need of learning all this stuff. Clear? And our aim is, again, I'm reiterating, our aim is to crack consulting role, to crack interviews. We want to see ourselves as a consulting level. So once we are selected as a consultant, maybe as per your experience, you will be recruited as an, if you are applying as a fresher, then probably, as I said, that I have given different levels of designation in the organization. Maybe we will be associate consultant or senior consultant, right? Or management level, we can see ourselves. 5-6 years experience, guys, we will see ourselves as a senior consultant or next level also. Clear? Same time, if we cracked, we are in consulting level, then probably we may see ourselves in different projects. That could be, one is implementation project, support or maintenance project, upgradation project, rollout project, and enhancement project. Okay, we saw like implementation project earlier sessions and support project. So what is mean by an implementation project? In the sense, any organization, it could be a startup company or it could be an existing company. For example, earlier they were not, if it is an existing company, earlier they were not using SAP in their organization. They were using any other ERP or any other accounting software or any other financial softwares. Okay, but due to some integration issues, they want to migrate from non-SAP to SAP, non-SAP to SAP. Okay, then for the first time, they want to use SAP in their organization. Then that particular project is considered as an implementation project. That particular project is considered as an implementation project. Any fresh SAP project is considered as an implementation project. Clear? So normally, once we recruited for any company, initially we won't get chance. Very rarely we will get this chance. At least for 6 to 8 months, we won't get chance to work as an implementation consultant in implementation project. Initially, we will get either in testing or support projects. After that, the company will involve as an implementation project. Clear? Once we do the implementation project end to end, then it means that we are capable to do any sort of project. At least a minimum one project if we do implementation level end to end. Clear? From documentation to till handover activities, if we are involved end to end activities, then which means that we are capable to handle any sort of project in SAP environment. Okay, so again, in implementation project, again, see our dream role. If you are keeping any sort of experience, if you see any job profile of SAP, they'll say that at least minimum one end-to-end implementation project you should involve in, at least one implementation project, at least. Clear? So here, whatever in the complete course, whatever examples, whatever scenario we are going to take, that is related to end-to-end scenarios, except the documentation part. At the end, I'll show you what are the documentations will be involved in real time. That documentations are also I'll show you, but meanwhile, complete end-to-end in the sense basic configuration to end user activity till hand it over. Everything we are going to see. So that you can keep it in your resume that we have involved in one end-to-end implementation project. Clear? And in implementation project, there are different phases there will be a different phases. And those phases, we call it as, and this is most important, as again, I'm reiterating, ASAP methodology, right? Any project, it could be a SAP project or any other non-SAP projects. Okay, to implement any software in the organization, they will follow their methodology. Their methodology is nothing but sequence of activities. Okay, so in SAP, we are going to call it as an ASAP methodology. A stands for here, accelerated SAP methodology. Okay, now in S4HANA, we don't have an ASAP methodology. We have active methodology. I'll tell you what do you mean by active methodology. I'll tell you what does the difference, basic difference between ASAP methodology and active methodology. In the sense, in ASAP methodology, we need to follow sequence of access. Complete sequence means, for example, you are implementing SAP in the organization. So here you are in realization phase. First, you need to do the complete company configuration setting, and after that you need to do GL module settings, and after that you need to do, for example, APAR module setting, and after that we need to do MM and SD set configuration, and we need to do integration of AP with MM, AR with SD integration settings, and after that we need to do bank integrations or bank configurations, and after that we need to do asset accounting configurations, and after that we need to do the controlling module configurations. So these are the sequence of steps. But in the latest one, we have an activate methodology or active methodology. Here only the thing is, first basic configuration we need to do it, but after that we can implement accounts payable module, and after that we can implement GL module, and after that you can implement asset accounting module, and after that we can implement AR module. So there is no sequence of implementation is not required there. So as per the client requirement, we can implement the module as per the client requirement. But when it comes to ASAP methodology, client requirement is something different, but we need to follow the same sequence. First, basic settings common, GL module common, APAR module common, and after that integrations of AP with MM, AR with SD, and after that we need to follow what we call asset accounting, bank accounting, asset accounting, clear, and after that we need to do controlling module. So that is a basic difference between the latest S4HANA and in ECC version. But we are going to see both in depth again. Clear? And after that, as I said that, so in ASAP, this is, don't forget this, with methodology you are going to follow, right? So they may ask you, if in the resume you have mentioned everything on ECC, then you are not supposed to say that we have worked on activate methodology. We are supposed to say that we have worked on ASAP methodology. Activate, again, it is for S4HANA. Any questions here? But here in this particular course, we are going to see both. Activate methodology we are going to work, and ASAP. Initially, we are going to work on ASAP methodology. Later, we will move to S4HANA. Over there, we will see activate methodology with the same examples. Okay. In ASAP methodology, there are total 5 different steps are there. Okay. Steps and, okay, or phases we can call it as in. So over here, first phase, we call it as in project preparation phase, business blueprint phase, realization phase, final preparation phase, and go live phase. In this implementation project, we have these different phases. Clear? First one, project preparation, business blueprint, realization, final preparation phase, and go live. So as a consultant, we will be involved from realization phase onwards. Till these two phases, only the documentation part will be involved. No system involvement will be there till here, till realization phase. So at least, and this particular implementation project, the time duration will be 1 year to 3 years or 4 years. Again, it depends upon the size of the organization. Clear? So here, at least a project, these two phases will take, if it is 1 year project, then it may take at least 2 to 3 months people will spend on the project preparation phase and business blueprint phase. Clear? Here, the project owner or project managers will involve in these particular phases. But still, in this particular course, I'll show you the project preparation phase documents and as well as business blueprint documents. Okay. And the real involvement as a consultant, functional consultant, our work will start from here in realization phase. All the configurations will be done in realization phase itself, functional configurations. Okay, so what do you mean by a project preparation phase? The project preparation phase, different documents will be prepared. What are the different documents? In the sense, the project agreement document will be prepared. In the project agreement document, what are the things will be mentioned in the project agreement is, what is the cost of the project? Means, for example, if it is a 1 year project. So here two parties will be involved here. Two parties will be involved. One is the party where SAP is installing. Here I took an example called Reddy Labs. Reddy Labs, earlier they were using Tally or Focus or Arcul or something in their organization. Okay, due to some reason, they don't want to continue with that particular software. They want to implement, they want to use SAP in their organization. Okay, then they are considered as a service receiver. Service receiver. Okay, that is Reddy Labs is service receiver. And for example, the software implementation, the Reddy Labs main job is not a software implementation. Their job, they are in pharmaceutical. So to implement software in their organization, they will take the service from different software companies. There are any number of SAP partners are there. Okay, one is SAP Global, who will provide this product, SAP product, and same time who is going to implement, they are considered as an development partners or service providers. Product supplier is something different. Service provider is something different. Who is the product supplier here? SAP AG, which is in Germany. Clear? Even they will also implement in the organization. But when compared to third-party software companies, the SAP AG implements little expensive. Not little, much more expensive. So that's the reason major companies will take the help of third-party software companies. So they are also known as an SAP partners. These software companies like Infosys, Wipro, Accenture, right? Yes Technologies, Capgemini, right? All these companies are also considered as an SAP suppliers, like not SAP suppliers, service providers, or we can call them as an SAP partners also. Clear? So here Reddy Labs is taking services from, I took example, if I'm not wrong, Wipro. For example, Wipro is going to implement SAP software in Reddy Labs. Clear? So here two parties are involved. One is service receiver and another one is service provider, right? So whoever is taking service receiver, right? So both will sit together and they will estimate what is the time, what is the cost of the complete project. Okay. And the service receiver and service provider will get into one agreement that, for example, initially it's a 10 lakhs project, for example. The service provider, service receiver is not going to pay the complete 10 lakhs at the time of starting. Clear? They are going to write in a legal authenticate paper that timeliness of payment. how much first down payment they are going to do, advance payment, right? In the middle, how much they are going to pay. At the end, how much amount they are going to pay. Clear? So here it's clearly mentioned that in this particular project agreement, only it will discuss what is the cost of the project and timeliness of the payment of the project. That will be discussed. Clear? And again, I'm telling you, this particular document I can't show you because it's an internal document. It will not revealed outside. Okay, so this document I can't share you, but you can see any small organization, we can see that. Next one, project scope document. This is also very important. Project scope document in the sense, whenever Ready Labs end user purchases. So here, Ready Labs is the end user who is going to use the SAP. So that's the reason we call them as an end user, right? They are going to use the SAP. So for example, when they want to implement SAP in their Ready Labs, in the sense, see, SAP, whenever Ready Labs purchases the SAP, there are total 36 different modules are there in SAP, standard modules. Okay, modules here you can take it as in departments. So SAP supports total 36 different departments, generic departments. Okay, Ready Labs may not require all the 36 departments. Probably they have only 8 departments, but SAP will supply the complete dump to Ready Labs. Okay, then what is our job as a consultant? They will explain their business processes. Ready Labs will explain their business processes. We need to understand that, and we know that what is the 36 different modules are there in SAP, and we will see what are the requirements of Ready Labs end user. So we will make sure that what is required for Ready Labs, then we will call them as an in scope. Means these are useful, whatever SAP standard is providing, that is, and okay, that is called in scope. And whatever are not required out of 36, how many are required for Ready Labs? For example, 10 departments. So 10 will come under in scope, and whatever other 26 are not required, those modules are not required for Ready Labs. So that is considered as an out of scope. Clear? In the document, it will be cleared in project scope document. What are the in scope for Ready Labs end user, and what are out of scope when compared to SAP standard. So that will be clearly mentioned in project scope document. And after that, once the project scope and project agreement is done, then project plan document will be prepared. Okay, in this project plan document, what are the things will be mentioned in the sense, when the project is going to start, on which date the project is going to start, and approximately on which date project is going to end. It's a tentative end date, would be a tentative date, because 1 month here and there they will complete it. Okay, but on the paper they will clearly mention that, okay, start date would be this date and end date would be this date, and tentatively 1 month or 2 months here and there. That's it. It could be before or it could be after. But as per legal, they will have a grace of 3 months extra, whatever end date they are going to mention. Is this clear? Any question? So that is called a project plan document. In project plan document, they will mention, they will write what is the start date of the project and what is the end date of the project tentatively. And next, after project plan document is prepared, then they'll go for the project team identification of team. So in identification of team, this is the most important thing. How many consultants, how many people are going to involved from project development side? That is nothing but either Infosys or Wipro side. And how many people in, for example, as I said, that 10 different departments are there. In each department, Ready Labs is having, for example, 20 to 30 members in each department. Department in the sense, those people are very good in their departmental activities, business process. So out of each department having 20. So all 20 into 10, 200 people will not going to involve in the project. Clear? So from each department who are experienced, who are good at their activities. So two or more people, two people from each department, they will pick and they are going to involve in the project. So from end user side, the employees who are going to involve in the project, they are known as core team members. Okay. From consulting side, from project development side, the employees who are going to involve, we call them as an consultants or senior consultant or any other designation. But from end user side, whoever are involved for departmental activities or for business process activities, those employees are considered as an core team member, CTMs. We need to remember this terminology. I hope you know that, but still I'm reiterating. Core team member. So in interview, they may ask you to pull our legs. Have you worked as a core team member in your project? If you say yes, then what does it indicate? That you have not worked as a consultant. You have worked as an end user. So never say we are not a CTMs. Okay. Any questions? Yes, no?
All good, sir.
Yes, Naveen.
So project team is identified. Once project team is identified, then the hardware and software facilities will be discussed. So to implement this particular project, team is ready and everything is ready. Project scope is ready and agreement has been done. So here what to implement, for example, Reddy Labs is in Hyderabad and Wipro is from Bangalore. Clear? So Wipro consultants are coming. Few consultants are from Bangalore, from Pune, few consultants and few are in Hyderabad. So they're going to, how many systems are required? How many servers are required? Clear? How many telephones are required? What is the network bandwidth is required? So everything, minimal to minimal things will be discussed regarding hardware and software facilities. Because Reddy Labs doesn't know how many servers will be there in SAP, right? As a service provider, okay, development said we need to give the we need to explain them these many servers are required, these many laptops are required, these many desktops are required, these many tabs are required, telephone connections are required, and whatever, for example, MS Office is required, right? And Snagit is required, or whatever other softwares are required, minimum to minimum, whatever software required and what is the operating system is required, everything will be discussed in this particular phase, hardware and software facilities. And again, same time, other facilities. As I mentioned that the consultants are coming from different locations, right? To Hyderabad, right? If consultant is from Hyderabad, then that would not be a problem. But for example, the project period is 3 months. Okay, these 3 months, right? Where they are going to stay, what is their transportation, right? Lunch, dinner, breakfast, snacks, tea. Again, in this particular document, they are going to discuss other facilities, like everything, refreshments and everything they are going to discuss and they are going to put on the paper. Clear? And after that, so everything is done. And after that, they are going to conduct a kickoff meeting. What is kickoff meeting here in the sense? Once everything is finalized, then Reddy Labs, all the Reddy Labs employees will be called for a meeting. Okay. And in that, the company is going to announce that they are going to introduce new software in their organization, that is SAP. Clear? And whatever previous one is there, that will be migrated to SAP, and the timeline, it's going to start from so and so date and it's going to complete so and so date. And what are the trainings, because all are not going to involved in this particular project, all the employees. Okay, so they are going to say that what are the trainings they are going to get after implementation of the software. After implementation in software, what are the different departmental trainings they are going to get. In that particular meeting, everything will be discussed. And that meeting is called as a kickoff meeting, kick to start. Clear? So this is the first phase. Any questions? So this is already discussed many times.
Sir, in which phase does the service provider has actually need to pay the amount, sir? Like for the license and for the implementation, in which phase?
Means like in the project preparation
First,
phase itself.
project preparation
Yeah.
phase.
So
It means
here,
that
for
first I need to
example,
procure the license.
See, once they enter into an agreement, this particular agreement, project agreement phase, because still here only the project owner, product owner will involve from service provider. Okay. Once this is finalized, before project scope document is prepared, before that only they need to make a payment, the initial payment.
Initial payment for what, sir? For license or for the
Not for
implementation?
license, not for license. For whatever servicing, whatever services they are going to take from Wipro or Infosys. Okay, the first phase before, because they are going to, from here, the Infosys or Wipro team is going to visit the end user office, and from there they will collect the information and all, right? So for that they need to spend time and everything. So before this particular phase, they are going to receive an amount project in a project agreement phase, right? In realization phase is nothing but that is a license will involve at that particular time. They are going to get the license fees and everything over there in this particular phase.
So license payment would be at one shot, or we can make it part payment?
That again depends upon, see, license phase, again I am telling you, this is again two types here. Sometimes the end user directly contacts the SAP AG global, or sometimes they'll ask to take licenses on behalf of them to service provider. Clear? Either directly they can buy the product from SAP licenses from SAP AG. Okay. And same time they can do, what is the other thing they can do? Instead of they directly contact with SAP AG, they can contact Wipro or whatever, whoever it is, they're taking services. Okay. They'll ask to contact with SAP AG for licenses part. Okay. So it's again agreement. It's again depends upon client to client agreement. Licenses, it will not be. SAP AG will take the complete amount and will provide the licenses.
Invoice will be raised from SAP AG.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So here, once it's done, then once kickoff meeting is done, then the business blueprint phase will be prepared. What is business blueprint phase? So here there are two types of documents will be prepared. One is as is document, another one is to be document. As is document will be prepared by the core team members, CTMs. Means before implementation of SAP, how they are working currently right now. So the complete point to point, each and every activity, they are going to write it. Okay, that is called as is document, as is. Okay, that is nothing but we call it as an CSBP document, current state of business process document. So in Tally or Focus or Wings or whatever software they are using, how the sequence of activities they are doing, point to point, they'll mention in that. So once CSBP is prepared, okay, that will be handed over to implementation partner. That is nothing but service provider. Service provider will check complete activities, and the next they will prepare to be document. After taking care of as is document, they will prepare to be document. What is to be document? For example, as I said that in as is document, they mentioned that there are total, again I'm taking example, 80 different business processes are there. Business process is nothing but sequence of activities, right? So total how many are there? 80 business activities are there. So here to be document. So what is a to be document? after implementation of SAP, how the business is going to work. Okay, that particular document will be prepared by service provider. Service provider, that is nothing but Wipro or Infosys. Okay, so here they will mention to be document will be prepared by functional consultants based on as is document. Okay, out of 80 business processes, functional consultants are able to map 73 standard SAP business processes. Means whatever 80 business activities we found, out of that SAP standard is providing as it is activities 73 standard activities. So what as a consultant we need to do, we need to just configure them and we need to introduce a client place. That's it. So 73 we can map it directly, but unfortunately we are not able to map 7 business processes which are not able to map. Those are considered as an gaps, means which we are not able to map with SAP standard configurations. I'm sorry. Then those are considered as an gaps. Means client specific requirements are there here. General requirements 73 we are able to map it as a consultant. Okay, but 7 requirements which are not there in SAP standard. Why? Because every business will not have all the 100% same. So there are few specifications are different from client to client. So in this particular scenario, for example, out of 80, 73 we are able to map, but 7 we are not able to map. So those 7 requirements, business processes, we are going to call as in gaps. Okay, and these gaps can be customized in the sense here what there is. Remember the two terminologies here, configuration and customization. Configuration is nothing but with SAP standards, whatever business process are there, if we are mapping directly with the client requirements, not client requirement, client business process, then that is considered as a configuration. Clear? But what do you mean by customization? Which we are not able to map client business process with SAP standard, then those are considered as an gaps that has to be developed. The gaps has to be developed. How we can develop as a consultant? Again, I'm telling you, as a consultant, we can't develop anything. Development in the sense what? Development will be done by technical consultants. Okay, so for that, the technical consultant need to write a program, right? As a functional consultant, even though we are in IT, we don't require any sort of programming knowledge nor logical knowledge, even though we are considered as a software employee. So here in the backend, SAP is developed in a programming language called ABAP, Advanced Business Application Program, which is developed. Actually, this was taken from the earlier version of business language, which is known as COBOL, Common Business Oriented Language. That was vanished in the year 2000. And after that, this ABAP programming language is developed in ERP segment. So whatever screens we are seeing in the backend, they have some technical terminologies. I'll show you in each and every screen what are the technical terminal, and those terminologies are developed in the backend on ABAP programming. Okay, so here whatever gaps are there, 7. So as a consultant, functional consultant, we are going to explain them clearly that these are the requirements of clients. Okay, and they want this output. And ABAPer will write a program according to the requirements of consultants, client, and they will develop. Okay, after development, we are going to map those 7 customization activities to client requirements. Clear? So this is called customization. Any questions on this? So one question you are going to get in interview: have you ever worked on development activities or customization requirement? 100% you are going to get. If you are attending an interview and you kept as an implementation project experience, then definitely one question you are going to get. If you are involved, kindly explain. And again, I'm reiterating, there are 30% clients are there for SAP. They require complete customization projects. For example, if I take, currently I'm working, my client is Apple. Okay, and Apple is completely 30%, they will take SAP standard, and other 70% we need to customize. And again, whatever SAP standard, if you take, again, I'm reiterating, reports are screens or any transactions. If it is customized, if it is not SAP standard, if it is customized, then they will call it as it will start with letter Z. That is nothing but Z. Z transactions, Z reports, means any report which is starts with Z, and the transaction which starts with Z. Okay, Z110, clear, ZFB, L. Okay, those transactions are nothing but customer requirement transactions. And I'll tell you, there are two types, the transactions which starts with either Z or Y. Those are nothing but not SAP standard. Those reports and those transactions are not SAP standard one. Those are custom required transactions or reports which start with Z and Y. And I'll tell you the difference between Z and Y when we enter into the transaction part. So till here, any questions? Till here.
So here, when we prepare the gaps, no, sir, like we have found that some of the things cannot be met through customization.
Correct.
So at that
Configuration.
time, okay, so at that time, can we roll back the license, sir, since my requirement is not met in the SAP software? Do you came across any clients like
No,
who
as
has
of
rolled
now,
back the license?
that's what I'm saying. As of now, any project, the first project for SAP was the John Deere project in the year 1980s or something. Means apart from Imperial Chemical, they have the John Deere project, which is a very, very, very big project. Almost all SAP service providers are involved in that particular project. Yes Technologies, NTT Data, okay, and Wipro, Accenture, Mahindra, Satyam, all are involved. But there is, we won't get any sort of this thing that in the backend, anything can be customized. Anything can be customized in the backend. Hope you got my point.
Yeah.
So nothing went back, license went back from the client to SAP AG, that these things are not, what do you call, not reached their expectations or not reached their requirements.
Okay.
Till now, it's not only my experience, in any other senior consultant experience.
Okay.
Yeah. If it is there, then SAP would not be the number one as of now, till now. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is ABAP consultant. So once everything is finished, customization, configuration is done. So business blueprint is the final documentation. So what are the things will be there in a business blueprint, which contains as is document requirements, whatever it was there earlier, and to be document, and what are the developments it has introduced. To be is nothing but configured, and development is nothing but customized. Okay, once documents are prepared, consultant will send, this is important here again, consultants will send it to CTMs. Here, nothing but who are the CTMs here? Core team members. So the complete documentation will send it to CTMs. So once the CTMs will check, okay, these are the requirements earlier. These are the things we used to do. And after implementation and after development, our output would be like this. So sometimes they'll come up with few questions. Okay. And as a consultant, we need to resolve their queries. And once CTMs are okay with the whatever changes we are going to do, okay, then they are going to do, these documents will be send it to BPOs. Means if CTMs are okay, everything they are happy with their work, then what they'll do is we need to send it to business process owner, nothing but that particular end user company head, right? Because he will have more knowledge when compared to CTMs, right? So business process owner, sometimes he may accept, he may not accept with the complete changes. So whatever, as you said, that we won't send back to licenses to them, but here BPO, business process owner, will come back to us. These are the things, our requirement, but it's not fulfilling. Again, so we will work out, we will involve ABAP consultant, whoever are required, we will involve them, and we will complete the requirements of client. Clear? Once the business process owner accepts, okay, the changes, then here the signing process will come into the picture here. Once business process owner accepts, the head of the end user level accept the project, we can continue. Then the consultants will take hard copy of business process, okay, business blueprint, and will take the signature of BPO. First signature will be done by, if project going to be executed, in the sense the first signing process will be done by business process owner of end user level, service receiver company. Okay, so once the BPO signed, then the CTMs are supposed to sign the first signature, that is called first signature, whatever BPO is now signing it. And next one, second signature, will be done by CTMs, core team members. Clear? Once core team member signs, then the project manager from implementation partner. Okay, so where the end user project manager is going to do the signature, third signature. Once the project manager from implementation partner sign, then the project manager from development partner. Development partner is nothing but either that could be a Wipro manager, project manager, or project lead, or project owner. Okay, those people will sign. That is called a fourth signature. And fifth signature, finally, consultants will do. All the functional consultants, technical consultants who are going to involve in this particular project will sign. And the complete process from first to fifth signature, the complete this, we call it as a signing process. Clear this? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sir. Project preparation phase and blueprint phase, as is and to be phases. As consultant will not involve.
Sorry,
Only core team. No, core team members means they're experienced persons.
correct. End user level, they are experienced.
Only end user people only will involve. Consultant.
No.
SAP consultant.
We are as a consultant, we are also supposed to involve, because first of all, we need to understand the client requirements.
Yes, sir. So we are also SAP consultant also involved in the
Correct,
business
exactly,
blueprint
in
phase.
business blueprint phase. That's what I'm saying.
But project preparation phase, he will not involve.
No,
SAP
the
consultant
higher
will.
level people will involve, project owners, project leads.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Clear.
So here, till this business blueprint phase, the system will not come into the picture. Only the documentation part will be there.
Okay, if a SAP consultant, he got a question, have you involved in a business blueprint phase?
Correct.
So we can say yes or no.
That's what I'm saying. As per, if you are saying that I have involved in complete end-to-end implementation project, okay, then I was involved. But sometimes a majority people says that, okay, because if I'm a FI consultant, I was worked in a what we call end-to-end implementation project, for example, but my role was a senior consultant. And above to me, one more senior consultant is there who is going to involve in this particular business blueprint.
Okay.
So he will come and he will explain us.
Yeah, clear.
Clear?
Clear.
So in the end user level, you can say that you are manager, team lead, and the actual accountants or associates. Hope it's clear.
Yeah, clear. Thank you.
Yeah. So the next process, the next third phase is realization phase. Last week we did this realization phase. Means once every document is completed and everything is finished, here the realization phase come into the picture. Means the actual work or the real or practical work will start in this particular phase. Clear? So here normally in any project, we will have a minimum of 3 servers. Mean any SAP project, clear? Only it is restricted to SAP project only, I'm telling you. So any SAP project, minimum 3 servers will be involved. And more, it again depends upon the business client. Okay, so minimum 3 servers will be involved. 3 servers with minimum 3 clients. Okay, in each server, there would be 1 client. So what is client? Again, we are going to discuss what is client in general, in the sense customer, we call it as in general. Client means here, we call it as in customer. But in SAP server terminology, the client is something different. Clear? I'll tell you. So here a client is an organizational and legal entity. What do you mean by legal entity? Legal entity is nothing but, for example, can you give me one example for legal entity? Example for legal entity.
A company, Naveen.
How company can be a legal entity?
A company
It
is
is registered. If it is registered in Indian Companies Act.
No, why we are calling it as an entity?
because it is separate from business. It is separate.
Yeah. See here, the business entity concept will involve entity as per business entity concept, in the sense, see, again, I need to come back to the accounting part. Actually, entity is nothing but a recognition, right? So there are, as per accounting entity concept, the entities, nothing but the persons are broadly classified into 3 different types: natural persons, artificial persons, and representative persons. So we are going to see that in depth, what is the accounting also basics, but still there are 3 different persons: natural persons, artificial persons, and representative persons. First of all, who are natural persons, right? Who are natural persons according to accounting terminology? The natural persons are nothing but the human beings who are involved in economic activities. Economic activities. What do you mean economic activity? Buying and selling and receipt and payments of cash or money worth. Then those are considered as a natural persons. Those are considered as a natural persons. Again, I'm reiterating, who are the natural persons as per accounting? The persons who are natural, that is nothing but human beings, and who are going to involve in economic activities like buying and selling and receipts and payment of cash or cash worth. Then they are considered as a natural person. Okay. And for example, who are not a natural person, even though they are human beings, for example, mentally retarded people. Okay, they are human beings, but they can't do any sort of normally economic activities. Okay, then they are not considered as a natural person as per accounting, as per Companies Act 1956. Is that clear? If any mentally retarded person is there, or any less than 3 years kids are there, they are not eligible. Then they are not considered as a natural persons, right? Who are involved in economic activity, all we are considered as a natural persons. And same time, artificial person. There is one more category in the persons, artificial persons. So who are artificial persons? The persons who are not natural. They are not natural. They are not human beings, but still they involve. But still they involve in all economic activities. Still they involve in all economic activities like buying and selling activity, receipts and payments of cash or cash worth. Okay, they are considered as a artificial persons. They are considered as an artificial person. For example, if I take one example, if I have deposited an amount in the bank, so what I'll say, I have deposited amount in the bank. Clear? So here I have deposited amount in the bank. So bank, I am saying that I have given the amount to bank. I have given the amount to bank. So here bank is directly receiving in this example.
Yes.
Bank is directly receiving.
No, no.
Accountant, clerk, cashier,
Clerk.
someone will
Yes.
receive. But still, are we saying that we have deposited to accountant, we have deposited to clerk, or we have deposited to cashier?
No. Since we are, but indirectly, it is we are giving it to the bank.
Bank. So what we are considering? We are considering bank as a person. Bank as a person, correct? But even though bank is not receiving directly from us, some accountant, clerk, or a cashier is receiving, but still we are not taking their designations, their names. Like we are saying that we have deposited to bank. If we are paying college fees, we'll say that, okay, we paid the college fee. But does it college directly receiving? Does the college directly receiving? No, right? Accountant or the same cashier or some clerk will receive the amount, but we won't say that cash, we paid fees to cashier, we paid fees to accountant, we say that we paid fees to college. Means here we are considering college as a person, bank as a person, business as a person, right? They are not natural, but still they are involving. From, for example, if I say that I have purchased some dress material or dresses from some lifestyle, so I'm saying that I have purchased this thing from lifestyle. But lifestyle, naturally, it's not a natural person, it's an artificial person. Clear? And one thumb rule, I'll tell you, we will discuss in the next week sessions regarding the basic accounting part. Majority of people knows that, but still it's a compulsory. We need to do this natural entity concept part. So here, when thumb rule, just remember this, whenever we are doing accounts, we need to consider ourselves as business. Okay. And we do accounts in business point of view, not owner's point of view. We are not supposed to mix both. Owner is separate from the business. Business is separate from the owner. Naveen started business with cash. So here, when I am doing accounts, then I need to consider myself as business, not Naveen. Okay, Naveen started business with cash in the sense, I need to consider myself as a business, Naveen as a separate person. To do activities, Naveen is giving cash or funds to me. Okay, as a business, because I'm an artificial person, I can't raise funds on my own. I need to depend upon the owner. That is Naveen. So at the end, so whatever amount Naveen is giving to me, that is considered as an investment or a capital for me. And at the end, I need to repay back to the owner, that is Naveen. What is my duty as a business? I need to repay back whatever amount he is giving to me. I need to repay back to owner. Clear? So that's the reason capital, we call it as in the balance sheet, we will show capital as a liability side. In interview, trust me, they have tried to twist me a question saying that, see, it's your own capital. They asked me, what is capital? I said, capital is nothing but investment. Okay, capital where you will show in the balance sheet, they asked. I said on the liability side. Okay, great. And after that, they asked me, why liability? Why liability? Okay, because I said we bought from banks, we bought from somewhere. So that's the reason we need to repay back. And something which we need to repay back, that is considered as a liability. Straight away, they have taken one example. Okay. You have taken borrowed from someone, and that's the reason you need to pay them back. So that's the reason you're calling it as an capital as a liability. I'll take you one example. You have a 20 lakhs rupees of amount. You have a 20 lakhs rupees of amount, and it's your own amount. It's your own amount. You didn't borrow from anywhere. You didn't borrow from anywhere. And you have invested in your own business as a capital. Then where you will show that amount? Capital in your balance sheet. You didn't borrow. They were stressing. You didn't borrow anywhere from anywhere. It's your own amount. It's your hard earning amount. You didn't borrow from banks, friends, relatives, from nothing. You have invested your own money into your own business. Then where you will show that as a capital, why you will show it as a liability. So that then we need to come up with, I have to come up with the entity concept. Means even though that is my own amount, even though that is my own amount. So here in accounts, there is an entity concept, business entity concept. Means business is recognized as a person. Entity is nothing but recognition. So here, whenever I am doing accounts, I need to consider myself as a business, not the owner. Owner is separate from the business. So whatever amount, even though that's owner own amount, he is giving to me, but it's not my own amount as a business. I need to repay back to owner again. So that's the reason, something which we need to repay back, then that is considered as a capital. So that amount I need to repay back. That's the reason at any point of time, capital will be the liability for the business. So that's the thing here. So that's the reason here. Any questions? I know it's a little divert, but any questions here? Because as I said that.
No.
Here we discuss client is an organizational and legal entity. That's what I would like to say. Entity concept is a very huge concept. Entity concept is a huge concept because once we reach the client place, we need to have more knowledge, even though as a consultant, we need to do configuration and customization as per their requirement. But we need to have a knowledge on complete business process also. Or else the client will play with us. CTMs will play with us. So that's the reason we are going to do as much depth as possible in accounting also. Because client do only the end user activities. So that's the reason each module, we are going to say 50 to 100 transactions in each and every module. If you take GL, 100 transactions we are going to do. And AP module, more than 100 transactions we are going to see. Different scenarios we are going to see. Clear? And that too scenarios in the sense, see in AP we will post one entry. Why debit, why credit, we don't understand, but we will post the entries. But here we need to have a knowledge what is debit and what is credit. So that points we are going to discuss in depth. Okay. So here again, I'm telling you, client is nothing but a legal entity in the SAP system. So here the client will have a separate recognition. Okay, it is an independent unit in the R3 system. Means, as I said, that minimum 3 servers are required here. So here, so what are the details will be maintained at client level? What is the data we are going to store or save at client level, in the sense user master data? So means user records. Means, for example, as soon as you joined as an end user, as soon as you joined as your end user in your organization. Okay, so we are implementing. So core team members will be provided one SAP user ID. Clear? And that complete data will be maintained in this particular client. Right? And what are the accesses you have? What are the authorizations you have? Everything will be stored at client level. So maybe majority people are working as an end users or consultants. So people may know, like as soon as you get join the organization, you will get one SAP user ID to work on that. So what does in the back end, what are the things will contains in that particular user ID? It's not only an ID. It will contain all your personal data, what you're going to submit in your organization at the time of joining, right? And the same time, at the time, according to your designation, what are the access you required? That will also mention in that. What are the authorizations need to given to you? That everything will be mentioned in that user ID. Clear? And customizing data. Clear? Client dependent data. For example, everything, as I said, that 80 business processes are there in client, this one. Out of that, only 73 we can map it, and the other 7 we are not able to map. That is customer specific requirements. So that particular data will also stored at client level. That is called customizing data. And what is the other one? Application data. Application data is nothing but your master data and the transactional data, right? Master data, as already we discussed, master data is nothing but the data which frequently won't change. The data we are going to call it as a master data. And what do you mean by transactional data? It's going to change frequently. Master data is fixed almost. Transactional data, it's going to change. So everything will be maintained. Master data, your GL master data, bank master data, tax master data, vendor master data, customer master data. Clear? Everything will be maintained, stored at client level. And transactional. Transaction in this nothing but your purchase GL, sales GL, expense GL, incomes GL. Everything will be stored at client level. Clear? Any questions?
All good, sir.
Yeah. So here in physical, again, I'm telling you the most important thing. Last time also we discussed. So client concept in SAP, as we know that now, client is nothing but an independent entity. You can call it as an. So here, how we can derived in SAP, the client in the sense, it's a 3-digit code. Client will be represented with a 3-digit code. Okay, so which starts with 000 and ends with 999. So maximum in any server, we can give 1000 clients. Maximum of 1000 clients we can give, which starts with 000 and maximum of last would be 999. So maximum 1000 clients we can give in any server. Minimum 1 client, maximum 999 clients in one particular server. Right? So again, the most important thing is, so as soon as we purchased SAP or we have taken licenses, and they will give you minimum of 3 servers as set. One is one server, we call it as a development server. One server, we call it as a quality server. And one server, we call it as a production server. Minimum 3 servers, minimum, not maximum. Depends on the business size, business transaction, the server capacity may increase. But minimum 3 servers. First server, we call it as a development server. Second server, quality server. Third server, we'll call it as a production server. So here, once we take the licenses and we will take the servers, then by default, SAP delivers default clients numbers are 000, 001 and 066. So these are the default clients, 000, 001 and 066. So clear? So never ever say in interview to pull our legs. Okay, they will ask you under which client you have worked. So normally people says that client in the sense I worked for Apple. My client was Apple. No, their intention was which client number you have worked, they want to check. They are checking which client. So it's immaterial for them. Actually, we can say any number. But if you are worked as a real-time consultant, then definitely you know this particular concept. There are different clients. As I said that these are the default client which SAP provides 000, 001, 066. Clear? If you say that I have worked under 066, or you are saying I have worked on 001 client, or you are saying that 000, because we are from any other institute, we have a end user knowledge, and what we did is we have practiced in few clients, 800 client. Okay, and we said that okay, every day we are logging and we saw the 800 client. Okay, and we said that which client environment you have worked, in the sense we said that initially I said that Apple. No, they will say that no, I'm asking in server which client you have worked. Then immediately I said that 800 client. Then the first step, they will give you your resume back and they'll ask you to leave the room, because the specific, again I'm reiterating, 000 client is a reference client. Reference client is nothing but which SAP will give the complete end-to-end project guide in this particular client. Complete project guide will be given. This is considered as a reference client. Reference client in the sense, first time you are working in SAP environment and you struck somewhere, then what you can do is you will have in organization, you will have access to 00 client, 000 client. You can log into 000 client. You can check all the steps. They will give you all the steps. So whatever steps you struck, you can go to that particular step. Okay, you can check there, and what is the resolution they have provided there. Okay, you can check that and you can come back to your client and you can work. So never use the term called 000, the client number, which is nothing but SAP reference client. That is nothing but a guide. Okay, in that we can't edit it, we can't delete it, we can't do any modification in reference client, 000 client. Clear? Any questions?
No, sir.
Yeah, another client we are going to get as 001 client. What do you mean by 001 client? It's almost a mirror image of 000 client. It's a mirror image. Okay, so but in 000 client we can't do any edit or modifications. But in 001, whatever reference data is there, we can edit, we can modify, we can delete. We can do our practice in real-time environment. So once you join in any organization, they will give you access for this 001 for edit and practice purpose. And again, don't use this particular client also, because it's not a real time. It's for practice purpose in real-time environment. So never use the term 000, 001. Another one, 066 client. Okay, we call it as an early watch service client. What do you mean by early watch service? This client, in the sense, here, for example, 10 consultants are working from India. 10 consultants are working in India, and your senior manager or any director sitting in US. Okay, and you want to see the live, whatever configurations you are going to do, whatever configurations, whatever changes you are changing in the real time, he want to sit there and he want to watch, then he will have an additional access to 066 client, early watch client, we call it as it. Means by sitting there, he can watch it. What are the configuration steps you are adding? What are the changes you are doing? What are the customizations you are doing? Everything. See, after configuration, if he is having the same client number, after that he can watch it, but that is considered as a postmortem. But here at the time you want to see in the live, then only those people, the high level people, will have the 066 client access. And this particular client number also we are not supposed to use. 000 client we are not supposed to use. Okay, 001 client we are not supposed to use, and 066 client number we are not supposed to use. And one more client is also there, 800 client. Client 800. What is client 800? Client 800 as given by SAP for practice purpose, not in real time. that particular 800 client is given for regular training purpose. If I'm not working, right now, wherever we are practicing, that client number will be 800 client, right? So every day we are going to work in 800, and in 800 client, we will not have 3 servers. Okay, only one server will be there. In that only, we need to, we are going to do development activities, quality testing activities, and production activities. So never use 8 series. Again, I'll say my students that never ever use which client you have worked, in the sense, never use 800 to 899 anything 8 series related. If you say 810, okay, in the class we discussed that 800 is a practice client or training client. Okay, I can use 810. So if you say 810, then definitely they will have a question, because normally no companies will take 8 series client. Okay, you will get, maybe your client is some generic or specific, they have taken 801 because it's a 9 number, lucky number, 801. But you will get more and more questions when compared to if you say other clients. Clear? So what are the numbers we need? We are not supposed to say in interview part. Client number 000, okay, is 001, 066, and 8 series client. Apart from that, any number you can say. Apart from that, any number you can say. When you are keeping, when we are making our experience as a real-time experience in the resume. Apart from these 4, any client number you can use it in interview. Clear? Any questions? Yes, no?
No.
Yeah. So here again, as I said, that SAP landscape or system architecture. So system architecture, as I said, that free servers will be there. What do you mean by landscape? The arrangement of servers. Architecture is nothing but the arrangement of servers. How we are maintaining our servers, how we are keeping our servers is considered as a landscape or architecture. As I said that, for example, you can have your development server. You have 3 different offices. One is in Bangalore, one is in Hyderabad, one is in Pune, right? So it's not mandatory to have all the servers at one place. So development server, I'm keeping in Bangalore, and quality server I'm maintaining in Hyderabad, and production server I'm maintaining in Bangalore. All the production activities will happen at Bangalore office. So how we are maintaining, okay, how we are configuring the servers, different places or at one place, then that is considered as an landscape or architecture. Clear? SAP landscape, we call it as what do you mean by SAP landscape? Arrangement of SAP servers is nothing but SAP landscape or an architecture. That's a simple one word. Okay, this is not required. No one will ask you in interview. But if you want in a teaching environment, then you should have a knowledge on this. Okay, so here, as I said, that minimum 3 servers. So one is first server, we call it as a development server and customizing and configuration server. Okay, all development server in the sense all the configurations will be taken and all the customizations will be taken in this particular server. Right? So that server access will be there for consultants. Right? Development partner will have this access. As a consultant, we will have this access. And quality assurance server. Okay, means once all the activities are done, all the developments are done, and all the configurations are done, then the complete data will copied and move it to quality assurance server. Okay, and all the testings will be done here. Here also few testings will be done, but here the testings will be performed by consultants, okay, and as well as end users. End user is nothing but your core team members. For this server, quality assurance server, both will have access. Consultants will have access, core team members will have access. Okay. And last but not least, production server. What is a production server? After quality server, if everything is complete, fine, all the testings are done here and now ready to work live, then the complete data will be moved to production server. And the movement of data from one server to one server, or within this, in one server from client to one client, we call it as a transportation or transport request. In SAP terminology, transport request means the moving of data within a server from one client to another client or from one server to another server. We call it as a transport request. Okay. If we want to move the data from one server to another server, okay, one number will be generated, transport number will be generated, and the complete data will be saved in that particular number only, transport request number. Normally, as I said, that in Windows, we are going to save in the folders. And here we are going to save in the transport request number, the complete configuration and the complete customization. Okay. If I want to move the complete data from development server to quality server, then that transport request number will be given to basis consultant, who is a technical consultant. So that basis consultant to move the data from development server to quality server. And all the tests and everything is completed. And that data now move from quality server to production server. Then the same basis consultant will move from quality server to production server. The data will be moved. Initially, all will be blank, the servers. As soon as we receive in development server only, two clients will be there. One is 000 client and 001 client. Okay, the data will be there in 000, but which we can't do it. In 001, the data will be there where we can do the practice part. But in the real time, we will have one more client where the real time configuration will be done. The real time customization will be done in development server. But the other two servers will be blank, empty servers. So we need to move the data from the development server to what we call quality server, and quality server to production. So the movement, we call it as a transport. Any questions still here?
No, sir.
Okay. If, for example, within a server, if we want to move the data from one client to another client, as a functional consultant, we can do that. But from server to server, the movement, we can't do that. We need to take the help of basis consultant. Clear?
Yes.
So for example, I'll tell you, say, for example, we did the last time the same thing. Development server, for example, the server where all the configuration and customization will be done according to the implementation partner requirement. So what is development server? All the configuration and customizations will be done in this particular server. For example, we have 3 clients in this particular server. I'm taking an example. It could be one client, it could be more than 10 clients. Anything is possible, right? But I took 4 clients as an example. So one is, as you know, that 100 client, sandbox client. That is nothing but your 001 client. What is sandbox client? It is a practicing system. It is a practicing system, or we call it as a test configuration client. So I'm a new consultant. Okay. By looking at 000 data, I want to practice it. Okay. So here we can do any sort of additions, we can do any sort of deletions and any modifications we can do in this particular client. And client number, I'm saying once again, it's an example I took. Okay, you can have any number, you can say that, right? And here only it is a practice purpose. So no transport request will be generated. Only the real-time data, when we are saving it, at that particular time only the transport request will be generated. But here it's not a real-time data, real-time configuration, real-time customization we are not doing here. So that's the reason transport request will not be generated here. Okay. It's the same thing. Whatever we do in this server, it stays in it and never reflected some other server. Fine. Next one, client 110. Again, number is, I am saying it took on my own. You can use any number here. You can use 110, 120, 130, 400, 410, 510, 610, anything you can say in development server. So client 110. So this is nothing but a configuration client. Means, as I said, that total how many business process we found in Ready Labs? How many business processes we found?
80.
80. Out of 80, how many we are able to configure directly?
73.
70. 73. Right? So those 73, we can do the configuration in this particular client. Fine. So that client, we call it as a configuration or golden client. So in development, what is the other client we have? One is a sandbox client, that is for practice purpose. Another one, we can do the configuration, or we can call that configuration client, or we can call that client as a golden client. Fine. Only over there, we can do the configuration part. Only the configurations we can do it. Okay. So in this, the real-time configuration will be done, and we call it no trial we are going to do. That's the reason we like this, we can't delete or something. That's the reason we call it as a neat client. Okay. So they may ask you, what do you mean by configuration client or golden client? Means where don't say configuration and customization. So the client where we do the configuration, only the configuration, that client we call it as a configuration client or a golden client or a neat client also. Neat client also we can call it. Okay. Next one, 120 client. Again, the number is optional again. So object development client, as I said that out of 80 business processes, we are able to map only 73. And the remaining 7, we are not able to map because of it's a customer client specific requirements. So in this development client, the object development client, we call it as an object development client. And object development client will have access to ABAPers. ABAPers will write a programming, will be written according to the client requirement. And which, okay, after development, that will be mapped to the SAP standard. Yes. Clear? And here again, client 130. After the redo process, we will transport the developed objects to development test client. So here we are in the client again, whatever. See here we have configured and here we have developed. So we need to check whether they are working perfectly or not. So here we can't do any sort of testing in this client. In this client, we are not going to test anything. So we will have in the same development server, testing client. Okay. So here we are going to do unit testing. Means department wise, whether all the end-to-end activities are performing correct or not. We are going to check in this. Clear? So here the data has to move from configuration client, from object development client to this testing client. So how it can be moved? Through transportation. So who can do this? So this is in one server. So as a consultant, we can move this.
Between the clients,
within one client. Sorry?
Between the clients, consultant.
Yes, within the client, we can, as a consultant, we can transport it. Okay. But if it is server to server, then we can't do it. We need to take the help of basis. Fine. Any questions?
No, sir.
So all the unit testings are performed perfect. Then the complete data will be copied and transported to another client called quality assurance server. Okay, the data will be moved, and under that also we have a different clients. For example, if I take again, it's an op, I have taken as an example client 200. So what is client 200? So once the data is configured, so here till here in development server, only the consultants will have access. That is nothing but as a functional consultants, we will have access, and as a technical consultants, ABAPer and basic consultant will have an access. And CTMs, end users, will not have access to development server. When it comes to quality assurance server, once the data is configured and customized in development server, that will be transported, the data from development server to quality server. Okay, so as we discussed, basis consultant, once the data is received in quality assurance server, so here the CTMs will start the testing. The CTMs will start the testings. So what are the different testings they are going to do is, the major important testings are unit testings and integration testings. Unit testing and integration testing. Unit testing is nothing but module by module. AP module, AR module, GL module, banking module. The CTMs which are related, they will test it. Then that is considered as a unit testing. Understood? What do you mean when unit testing? Module wise testing, we call it as a unit testing. Okay. And once unit testing is perfect, then one more testing will be performed, integrations testing. So what is integration testing? See, one particular activity will start in one module and it ends in other module. It should be interlinked. Correct? So the complete interlink is completely working perfect or not. To checking that, we call it as an integration testing. The module may starts with procurement and ends at payment. Right? So, or procurement of an asset and sale, scrap of an asset or a sale of an asset. So which is starting with procurement, AP is going to involve, AR going to be involved, right? And asset accounting and controlling module is going to involve in this particular sequence. So complete sequence is working properly or not. That testing, we are going to call it as an integration testing. Clear? Any questions? Okay.
From development to quality is moved by basis consultant.
Basis
right?
consultant.
Okay. And if any changes required in this server, I can do it, or again I need to do it development.
That the data will be there in a development server.
Okay.
Moving in the sense here, it's a kind of copy and paste, not cut and paste.
Okay, like while doing testing, we found some configurations need to be changed.
Correct.
So in this server only can I change, or again
No,
I need
no,
to
no,
go to development?
no. That need to be changed in development server.
Okay.
Okay. Again, once whatever changes we have done, that have to be transported to again from development server to quality server. We can't do any sort of development or configuration or customization in quality server.
Okay.
Okay. At the time of testing, we found some issues. Okay, that issues will be informed to consultants, and those consultants will address that in development server. And once they are configured or developed, and that particular data will be transported to again quality server. Again, they will redo the testing.
Okay.
Fine.
All good, sir.
Yeah. Next one, once everything is fine, then the last one, we call it, it's not a test again, it's a user acceptance test. It's not a test again, it's a document. Once unit testing and integration testings are done, then the user will prepare one document called UAT, that is user acceptance test. Means he will mention this, they will have a scenario, scripts they will develop, and they will sign it. If it is working perfectly, they will sign it at the end, and that we call it as an UAT. Script development. of each and every scenario. Clear? It's only a document, UAT testing. Fine. So in client 200, whatever example I took, we will do unit testing, integration testing, and UAT part. So once the UAT is finished, then again in the same quality, we may have one more client. Okay. So trainings here, from here, the data is working perfectly. Then the trainings will be given in quality server only, not in production. Okay. So trainings to end users and super users. End users is nothing but a lower level, starting level employees, and super users are nothing but your assistant managers or higher than that rank, team leads and all will come under super users. Okay. And who are going to give the trainings? The CTMs or the consultants will give the trainings to the other employees who are not involved in the project. Clear? Next one, client. So for example, again, the management need to have, because it is the SAP is going to implement from lower level to high level. So even the high level people who need to approve few things, even though those people doesn't have a knowledge on SAP, won't have a knowledge, then need to train them also. They are known as in power users. Super users, power users, right? Power users are nothing but who are approval level. Okay, high level of employees, right? If once all the trainings are completed to end users, super users, and power users, then the data will be moved from quality server to production server. And again, here also we are moving data from one server to another server. As a consultant, we don't have that access. Who will have access to move? Basis consultant. Clear? So under this, again, production client. Production client. So production is nothing but real-time environment, right? Again, in production client, for example, there is a client 300. Again, in production also, we have an n number of clients. You can see, if you're working as an end user, you can see different clients will be there in your system. In your login credentials, you can check what are the client you are working, in which client you are working. Clear? So this is nothing but pre-production. We call it as an first in production. Production, we will have a different clients. In that, the first client, we call it as a pre-production client. What is pre-production client? Before production. Okay, before production, we will have some data in the production system. What is that data? Pre-production client, we are going to load all the legacy data. What do you mean by legacy data? So till last year or till yesterday, we were using non-SAP system. And there would be some transactions, master data, some data will be there. Everything need to be non-SAP data. We call it as a legacy systems. In general, legacy means outdated system. But here in SAP environment, we call it as an SAP system and non-SAP system, or SAP system and legacy systems. All the non-SAP systems, we are going to call it as an legacy systems. Don't take it as it's an outdated system. No. For SAP, all the non-SAP systems are considered as an legacy systems. Yes, someone was asking question. Yeah, any questions?
No, sir, by mistake.
Yeah, fine. So now you got it right. So whatever data in old system it was there, that has to move to production system. That could be your master data, that could be your transactional data, or any data which was there in your older system that has to be moved to your production, pre-production data, from legacy data to SAP data. Okay, so already we discussed what do you mean by master data and transactional data, right? And how to upload the legacy system data to production system. So there are two methods are there. Two methods. We can migrate legacy data to SAP data. So what are those in the sense? To upload data from legacy system to SAP, we use tools. There are two tools. One tool we call it as an LSMW tool. LSMW. Again, you are going to get questions, interview questions on LSMW. We are going to see the complete sequence of activities of LSMW. So there are total 11 to 14 steps will be there to move the data from legacy to SAP. We are going to see in depth that. So LSMW is nothing but legacy system migration workbench. Legacy system migration workbench. Or what is the other tool we have? BDC tool. That is nothing but batch data conversion. Batch data conversion. Okay. So we will see what is the difference between both the tools in the sense. LSMW is nothing but in this tool, no need to write any program. We need not to write any sort of program. Okay, it's a simple. We need to update the data in this tool in 14 different steps, 11 to 14 different steps. Okay, and it is a functional consultant tool. It's our tool. One step after another step. If the data is very less in legacy system, then we can use LSMW tool. The data is very less. Okay, this is the functional consultant can upload the data. But if the data is very huge, okay, then LSMW, it's not possible to migrate or upload from legacy system to SAP system with LSMW. Then what we will do is we are not going to use BDC tool will be get involved in this. So what BDC? BDC is nothing but if we want to upload the data through BDC, then we need to write a program. So we can't write a program, then whom we need to approach? ABAPer. So we will give this particular data need to be updated from legacy to this one, SAP. Then the ABAPer will check everything and they will write the program, and in one shot, they will update everything through batches. Right? So we need to take the help of ABAPer. Right? Once the master data, transactional data is uploaded. Okay. So once we have done, and there is a regression test will be done in the production system. Regression test in the sense to check whether the complete data is uploaded correctly or not in SAP system from legacy system. That is called regression test. Don't get confused with the terminology: unit testing, integration testing, user acceptance testing, and regression testing. Regression testing to check the data whether it is uploaded correctly or not, we call it as a regression test. Clear? Integration test is nothing from the sequence of activities working properly or not. To check that, we'll call it as an integration test. Unit test is nothing but departmental wise, only starting step to end step in each and every business activity, sequence of activities. That is considered as an unit testing. And user acceptance testing, acceptance performed by the end user. That is called UAT. Clear? So next one, client 400, approved and verified data. So everything is approved here and verified. Data will move it to production client. The live data will be available in production data. The client will go for go live. Once it's go live, then there will not be any testing in the real-time activities. In the production system, the real-time activities will be performed. So this is the complete sequence. Any questions here?
Sir, in production, the data will be moved from quality or from the development servers?
Quality.
From quality to production.
Correct.
Okay. And on what basis you are saying that if data is huge, like if the GLs are more than 10,000 or like?
Yeah, like that. Your transactions in a year.
Okay.
Okay. If my company is very less, I'm having a 5,000 GLs or 5,000 transactions like this, then definitely I can move it manually that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is about your complete. So next one, we have one more project. So normally once you are hired, for any organization. So as I said that straight away, they are not going to give you the implementation project. So they may give you a support and maintenance project. Okay. So the support and maintenance project, for example, as I said that Reddy Labs, we took an example. Reddy Labs company already implemented SAP in their organization. During the work, because they are not the SAP perfect. So at the time of working, they may get some sort of issues. While working, end users may get some sort of SAP issues. Okay. To avoid this difficulty, the company will give the project to any software company. Okay. For example, it is possible that the implementation was done by Wipro and they have given support for 3 to 6 months, but they are not satisfied. Reddy Labs is not satisfied. Then this support activity, the support project can be given to any other company, software company. So for example, they have given this particular development was done by Wipro and the support project was given to Infosys. Okay. So, or Accenture or any other company. So Infosys, Accenture, or they will form their own IT division also. So for example, to overcome, depend on third-party companies, what organization companies will do is they will develop their own IT in their own organization that is related to only SAP things. Clear? IT division to support the project. Whenever they come across issues while using SAP, then the end user escalates in the form of tickets. And everyone knows now we are using the ticketing tools, different ticketing tools. Every support project team mandatory should have ticketing tool. So both the teams, whoever supporting the service provider and service receiver, should have a common ticketing tool in their organization. So again, the support team and different types of supports. So the team size would be, again, I'm taking example. It could be less, it could be more. Depends upon the workload. The team size would be 5 to 20 members. Okay. And the project duration would be again 1 to 5 years. It can, again, in real time, it could be less or it could be more. But I'm giving you the general example. 80% to 90% companies will take support 1 to 5 years. Okay. The people are the person who involved in support project from IT companies are known as support consultants. So we are recruited as in support. So we can call it as in support functional consultants. Support functional consultants. So how many support projects are there? So there are 3 types of support projects. One is ticket-based support, production-based support, and go-live support. So ticket-based support. So when company is using SAP, then they may face some issues, as we know that. So then the end user organization and SAP support organization will maintain a common ticketing tool. Like there are number of ticketing tools are there. Now the leading ticketing tool is ServiceNow, Remedy tool, right? A few examples I have taken. So whenever end user face the problem, then they will raise the ticket in the tool by explaining the issue. The tickets are broadly classified into 3 types. Again, it's a only example. It could be different organization to organization. Okay. Urgent priority tickets, high priority tickets, and medium priority tickets, and low priority tickets also. So as per the SLA, the agreement will be there. Urgent priority tickets need to be addressed within 4 hours. For example, high priority tickets need to be addressed within 12 to 24 hours. Medium priority tickets, 48 hours. Okay. And same time, low priority within a week time. So again, it would be an agreement between service provider and service receiver. So the address is very important. Addressing of that particular ticket is very important. Clear? Next one, production support. So here again, ticketing tool they can have. Again, they will have one more support, production support. So this support is nothing but 24/7 it will work with the toll-free numbers or chat box, right? So 24/7 support through internet communicator, that is nothing but your chat box, or through toll-free number. So whenever we receive a call, right, if you are in support, then we need to pick it, we need to address it immediately. The resolution can be provided according to the timelines. Clear? But addressing, however, we won't miss it. We will pick it up immediately, that we are going to address it immediately. And next one, last but not least, go live support. So after implementation, for example, as I said that as a Wipro, we have implemented, right? So how it's going to work, end users are working. So free of cost, as per the agreement, at the time of project agreement, they're going to mention implementation will be taken these many years, these many months. Okay. And after that, these many months, we are going to give support free of cost. 1 year, 6 months, like that. And then that particular support, we are going to call it as in go live support. And that go live support would be minimum of 2 months and maximum of 6 months. So if you buy any electronic product, the warranty would be maximum of 1 year. Like that. Any questions in this?
No, sir.
Okay. So we will just complete these things also. A rollout project. This is another important project. Rollout project. What do you mean by rollout project? In the sense, I'll quickly give you rollout project. In the sense, for example, my company is established in India and it is having a branches or member company codes or member companies in across the globe. Okay. But head office, whatever I call it as an head office, is in India, right? So in India, we are using, earlier we were using Arkle, and other globe, across the globe, everyone are using Arkle itself. Okay. But in head office, due to some reasons, integration problems, right? Integration problems, we don't want to use Arkle or any other ERP. We want to implement SAP, and we have implemented in India. But outside, across the globe, they were using the existing legacy softwares only. Clear? And we are using in India, for example, 1 year it's done, 2 years it's done. But in India, we are using SAP from past 3 years. But across the globe, in other member company codes or member companies, we are using legacy softwares other than SAP, right? Now company decided whatever member company codes are there, over there also, we want to implement SAP, right? Which are there already there in India head office. We want to migrate the same thing to other member company codes or member companies. Okay, then that particular project, we are going to call it as rollout project. Rollout project, it's not a fresh implementation. Again, it's not a fresh implementation because already the company is using in India SAP, but other member company codes are not using across the globe. So the almost all the activities will be the same. Only what are the things here you can see that if a company has already implemented SAP in one country, that is in head office, they would like to replicate the same for other country or countries or branches, then these type of projects are called rollout projects. In other words, rollout means replicating the business model of the SAP system in subsidiaries, okay, that have similar business process. Okay, what could be the changes? Everything will be the same. 80% it is a mirror image, but 20% what could be the changes? The main task of localization is to fully implement according to the local requirement of subsidiary company. Maybe the currencies may be different. The taxation system would be different. Okay. Right. For example, you can say Reddy Labs company head office is in India. Already SAP is implemented and it is having branches in US and as well as in Europe. They want to implement the same SAP according to the head office. Then these projects are known as rollout projects. Only what are the changes we need to change? According to the local requirements, we need to change. And everything remaining, everything is similar. Then that particular projects are considered as a rollout project. Rollout projects are not fresh implementation projects. Rollout project, have you ever worked on rollout project? Yes, you can say that. What is the thing you have worked? We have worked on rollout projects, currencies, currency configuration, foreign currency valuations we have done. Right? Next one, legal requirements like tax requirements we have done. That's it. And which was the replication you have taken? We have the head office was in US. The same replication we have taken. Is this clear? Everyone?
Sir, I have one query.
Please.
Like recently, Tata has acquired Bisleri water bottles.
Correct.
So let us assume that Bisleri has already implemented SAP. So that would be an rollout project, or that would, if a Tata has acquired Bisleri water, that would be takeover rollover project, or upgradation project.
See, in Tata, what is the software they were using earlier?
SAP, let us assume.
SAP. Here also they are using SAP only.
Okay.
Right? So no changes will be done in the software, right?
There will not be change.
There will not be, because that will be continued.
At that time, group reporting will not be possible. No, sir. Both are different systems.
Then we will do the configuration for group reporting only. That's it.
Fine.
Same versions both are using. Here, if whatever what Tata is using the same SAP version, Bisleri was also using it. Okay. So only the group reporting we will configure it at company code levels.
Okay.
The company codes will be get changed.
Okay. If Tata is using S4 HANA and Bisleri is using ECC, then that would be an upgradation project.
Upgradation project. That's what I want to say.
Thank you.
Right. So next one we have upgradation project, whatever you asked. So
Sir, I have one question.
yes, please go ahead.
Sir, is there any go live support in rollout projects?
Yes, it will be there.
Okay.
It will be there.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. For roll-off project, I'm taking approximately the team size would be 5 to 20 members. Again, I mentioned it as an approximately, and the duration would be around 3 to 9 months. Again, it depends upon business to business. Understood, right? People will get confused implementation project and rollout project. So people think that both are same, but no. Okay. Next one, upgradation project. Okay. Same upgradation project is nothing but, as given example, if the company already using SAP older version and they would like to upgrade the latest version of SAP, then these projects are considered as an upgradation. And majority project after 2025 or 26, I can tell you, few are started already, but after 26, most of the projects are into upgradation project till 2028. Till 2028. Okay, so most of the project would be on upgradation, means all ECC version companies will move to S4 HANA. Clear, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Last but not least, enhancement project. This is one more project, enhancement project. This is very important again. Enhancement, just know what we use. Enhancement is nothing but changes in the existing process or modifications in existing process is called enhancement project. For example, in my organization, I'm using SAP in my organization. So there were 5 different departments were there. 5 different departments that which were existing since 3 years or 4 years. Okay. So we are enter into a new business. We are enter into a new business. All right. And for that new business also, we want to use SAP. We want to use SAP. So now we are going to already 5 departments. We are already implemented SAP, and that is working perfectly. But whatever new launched department, for that we want to implement SAP. Okay. And that particular implementation, we are going to call it as an enhancement project. So you can see, for example, I took one contract example. Enhancement is nothing but changes in the existing process or modification in existing process is called enhancement project. So for example, in the organization, already SAP has implemented for all the modules or departments. Okay, so few departments I took an example. FICO, QM, PP, SD, HR. If the organization enters into a contracts business, okay, and to enter into a contract business, they need a module called project system module. They need a module called project system module is required. We need to implement PS project system module without disturbing the existing business processes. Okay, PS module must be integrated with other existing modules in the organization. And this kind of project, we are going to call it as an enhancement project. Any questions in this? So these are the complete projects. These many projects will be there in any SAP environment. Yeah, any questions in this?
No, Navin, all good.
Yeah. So sorry, because we have spent time on this. So, but this is very, very, very important. Most of the time, because people directly, I can start with this directly what we call configuration part, what is company code directly normal. But without having a knowledge on this particular things, if we do the practical part directly also, it's a win. So please have a grip on that, check it, check out. I'll share this document also in the group. So just go through once whenever you get time, the complete week. Next week onwards, we are going to see the GUI part of SAP. What is each and every step we are going to see. What is each tab, and I'll explain everything in detail. Clear? Any questions?
Sir, I have a question here.
Yes, please go ahead.
So you told that ASAP has 5 different phases, right? ASAP
Correct,
methodology.
correct.
So what should we explain in the final preparation phase? We understood till realization and go live. So what should we explain in the final preparation phase?
Did I haven't explained?
Sir, you said that till realization phase, you explained till 400 client. So I need to know
One
the
second,
pre-production phase.
Okay, in the projects I have explained until here, right? Right? What is a realization phase? We have seen. What is a final preparation phase?
Sir, I guess that moving the information from the old system
Exactly.
to the
Exactly.
legacy.
Exactly.
That is the final preparation.
Exactly.
Sir, another question, sir. When I'm moving the information from development to quality, the configuration data gets moved. So when I'm doing the unit testing, I need some master data, right? How come master data appears in the quality source?
Sorry.
When I'm moving the information from developmental server to quality server, configuration data moves, right? From development to quality.
Complete whatever data, master data will be moved, configuration data will be moved, and customized data will also move. The complete data will be moved, whatever transport request you are going to give.
Yeah, but in the developmental server, do we create any master data, sir? Are we creating anything, or
we are
we
going
want
to do
create the
that? We are
configuration
going to
part?
create it. We are going to create it. Master data in the sense like we are going to give the configuration part of
Yes,
master
sir.
data
The
creation.
configuration.
Yes, only
Yeah.
the configuration part we are going to do. And at the production server, the master data will be updated by the
Yeah,
end user.
that will be updated.
Yes.
But in the unit test client, when I'm doing the unit testing, how will I test whether the GL configuration is correct
That's
or not?
what that's what I'm saying. We will take as I said, we will develop few scenarios, few scripts for checking purpose.
Okay.
Clear.
So that
We
will be
will
done by the
develop.
consultant or the CA? end
See,
user.
as
Who
per
will
the
be the-
requirement of CTMs, we understood, right? As is document, we will take few scenarios and we will develop few scripts. We will do that in development server initially. The testing part.
So master data, LSMW or BDC, which server we will be updating?
Sorry.
So through master data,
Mhm.
so which whether production server or quality server or development server, which servers we are LSMW or BDC, which how we are
From
the-
quality to production.
so each server we have to
Yes.
export the data for master
Exactly.
data.
Yes. Yeah. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So next week we will see. Somebody's talking in the background. Okay. Like we are going to see the introduction screens of SAP, what is what, and next week completely we will see each and every field, what are the different fields we are going to see. Okay, what do you mean by different dates? We know the dates, but what is the different dates we have in SAP, and all the stuff we will discuss. And next Sunday we are going to start up with the, once we are done with this particular step,
Baseline configuration.
not enter structure, we are going to talk enterprise structure. Okay, controlling testing, everything we are going to discuss. Thank you all. If at all no questions,
Thank you so much, sir.
thank you.
Good day.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you all.
Happy-
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.